Okay, so in this video, I'm showing you the aggregate function. I've still loaded the World Governance Indicator dataset from before, and I've now pulled another Excel file in this Tableau Prep Builder session. That means in Prep Builder, you can edit multiple Excel files or data from multiple Excel files at the same time. What this is a direct download from the World Bank right here. It's gross fixed capital formation of the private sector in current LCU. I simply downloaded the Excel as provided here. So that's really not the way that you would usually go for it. I just want to show you what Tableau Prep will do with this very unstructured file, even though it's not so unstructured. But okay, let's take a look. The data is in the Excel data tab. I'll just put that in and take a look. And we see the same problem as with the WGI in the beginning. We need to use the data interpreter, obviously. Now this looks better, but I can already see a problem right here with the country name. So somehow what has happened is that Aruba and Afghanistan have ended up with the country name. So here something is clearly wrong. Somehow Tableau Prep is not really looking right at this data set. Taking a look at Excel, we can try to figure out why that is. When we take a look, we will see that there are no values. So Tableau is thinking, okay, there are no values. This is not part of the data set or whatever. And so it's excluding these two. So in principle, no problem. But anyways, let's make this clean and at least delete these two out of this file and hit save in Excel. Now you might think that I have to re-import the data, but all I have to do is to refresh my data. If I refresh the data, you see this has disappeared. Tableau Prep is linked in real time with Excel, with whatever Excel file you input. So whatever changes you make in Excel, Tableau Prep can follow, and the whole chain will follow as well. First step, as always, we add a step. We take a look at the data. We see the data is structured in a weird way in the sense that we have years as variables, which is not really what we want. So we know already we can use the pivot function in order to put these columns into rows of the years. And let's take a look at the results. Yes, now we have pivot 1 names, which are basically years. And we have the gross fixed capital formation of the private sector. Okay, this is what we have so far. We don't need the indicator name. It's always the same, and also the indicator code. Now, if we wanted to check this, we can go to Albania and see that, oh yeah, now we have Albania and all of the years. And we also see that, obviously, gross fixed capital formation only for the private sector is something that you don't really get for a lot of economies and a lot of years. So we are stuck with only these 5 observations. What I actually wanted to show you is the aggregate function. If we click aggregate, what you can do is you can sum or do something else with all of the data that you have now. We have data for many years. Let's say we just want an average of all of the data that we have. First of all, for that, we need to define a group. If we now had, let's say, regions, we could do this calculation by regions, but we just have countries. So we're sticking to countries and we're taking whatever the country code or the country name, doesn't really matter here, to identify the country. And then we're using our values and put them into the aggregated fields. This will create for each country code an aggregated number over all of the available data. And here you see that it's currently doing a sum. We can also say, by clicking here on sum, that we rather want an average, or we want the median, or we even want the standard deviation. Let's say you're interested in some form of volatility of something, of an investment, or of a stock. So you can use variance or the standard deviation to do that. You can even count the observations that we have, if that is interesting to you, or do percentiles. So a lot of options here, and I think that's quite useful if you want to simply take the average of a lot of values and you don't really want to use Excel for that or any other program.